all of the parts of you coming together as one is what we wish to speak with you about today. The idea that you have different bodies of awareness, we would say, or different bodies of consciousness. Most of you are aware of this thing that you call the physical body, this thing that you identify with, this life encounter suit, we would suggest to you, that allows you to have this earthly experience and to enjoy or not all the trials and tribulations of being human, no? But if you're only being human, then you're missing perhaps a bigger part of yourself, your larger consciousness, or this part of you that is unseen. Had you ever thought that even being human, most of the things that you experience are on this physical realm, your senses of taste, touch, smell, all of those senses is usually what you identify with. But what if there was a greater part of yourself, this unconscious side, or this consciousness that is beyond recognition, almost has a different dimension? Now, what we propose to you is that you have those parts or pieces that are perhaps unknown, and you are so involved with this physical realm that perhaps you have either forgotten or overlooked or ignored this other sense that you are. We're proposing to you that you have this, what we wish to call eternal consciousness that is ongoing, lifetime after lifetime. And it is what you collectively put together to identify yourself lifetime after lifetime. All of the things that you have ever done, all that you have ever been is collected, and it influences this that you are, your perspective, your ideals, your hopes, your dreams, your fears. All of that is a collection of all the experiences you've had, both in this lifetime and we suggest in other lifetimes. So what we're hoping to do is to give you some sense that there is more to you than this physical body, to integrate this consciousness that you identify with as being the completeness of you. By attempting to bring those into your awareness, you expand your physical mind or your physical brain even to the point to where you begin to sense there's more to this world than just eating ice cream. So you do away with this bit of physical sense and the fact that you are trying to expand, to imagine, if you will, being a more complete consciousness. Now, the only way you'll ever get there is simply by having an intent or having a desire to recognize that there's more you, to turn loose of this physical realm, occasionally at least, so that you can experience this other part of yourself, this, we would suggest to you, this more powerful part of yourself, this part that has the ability to create by its ideals, by its hopes, by its dreams, so that you can recognize how you create, to integrate those into one larger sense of consciousness, so that when you think, you do not think just with this human brain, you think with the totality of yourself. You allow yourself to have, we would say, ideas and know that your thoughts create. And if you could put all of this together, then you would perhaps have a little more sense of direction, a little more sense of how you create and how you are upon this plane, this physical plane. So what we're hoping to do is to give you some suggestions of ways that you may try to integrate those. And one of the main ones we would say to you is this ability to meditate. Now, we recognize that there are many ideas on meditation, how you should do it. There are books that have been written, there are step-by-step procedures. Now, they may or may not work for you, but if you simply sit quietly and let all of the random thoughts, all of the doubts, the fears, all of the concerns of this physical life just kind of, we would say, bubble up to the surface, you'll find you will finally release enough of those where you have a little bit clearer picture of who and what you are, and you begin to access this other realm. Then things begin to happen for you. You will find that you have what we would like to call flashbacks. You know those, you have heard about those war stories, have you not? When these warriors come back and have all sorts of problems with that, that's not quite as dramatic as that for you, but what we hope to get you to recognize that there are things that will come up. You open yourself up to this other realm, and it begins to penetrate or infiltrate this consciousness of the physical senses. You begin to have pictures, you begin to have intuitions, you begin to have thoughts of other things, and most likely will be things that you have not even thought of. They just occur. It's almost like stepping into a movie theater and having all these pictures begin to radiate out at you. This is what we're suggesting to you. That is a way of integrating your greater consciousness with this physical consciousness, so you have some sense of completeness. And what is so grand about this opportunity is that it allows you to recognize who and what you are, to actually have some sense of love and respect for this greater consciousness that you are, so that you see that there is an ongoing, we don't wish to call it destiny, but an ongoing program that you put in place simply by all the things that you've ever been. So meditate, allow yourself to access those realms, and we do not wish to give you suggestions that says this is what you're going to do too much. We simply wish you to sit quietly and allow yourself to sense what's going to happen. If you sit quietly enough and all the monkey thoughts evaporate, you will find that you will finally reach a plane where there is a bit of purity coming into your consciousness. As you sit there quietly, you will have thoughts that simply appear out of nowhere when you have cleared the mind, or when you have allowed it to clear would be a better way of doing it. The harder you try this, now we have to suggest to you, the more difficult it's going to be. But if you simply sit quietly, and it may take a few meditations or a few sessions before you begin to touch this, and you will find that one of these meditations is going to be so grand, so glorious, that you're going to think, boy, I finally reached this. Then we will assure you that the next 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 are going to seem like you regressed and you've lost the whole thing. But that is part of the process. When you reach something like that, it is very likely that you're going to grasp for it so much and think, this is the key to my evolvement, or this is the key to opening myself up. And you're going to expect so much the next time that you're going to defeat that. So if you simply will allow yourself to have this experience,